But here we are, finally, we hear the glorious sheep being gathered on in, and it's that 4 vills onto the early hunting cabin to not delay the TC from making a scout.
And you know what I see? I see a really, really good spot here for Barbican. So we got 3DB here with the Chinese. Typical opening so far. Actually, not so typical opening here so far from him. Does he not have an Imperial official yet? It's 35 seconds in, and I'm not seeing him.
No, he went for a second scout. He went second scout immediately coming out, so really respecting the Roost play and then going with the IO, so doesn't get the extra wood on the straggler drop off, and just definitely a just totally different opening than typical.
Yeah, so far we've not seen Chinese at all in this tournament going for that second scout. I think we've seen it not yesterday, but one of the other weekends we did see China versus Rus. And whenever that happened, there wasn't a second scout involved. So now we do see a second scout here from the Chinese, and this can really make a lot of sense. In the Tang Dynasty, the Chinese scouts do get a bonus with a lot of extra line of sight. So it's really easy for them to find these deer spots, these wolves, and anything like that on the map. And we do see that B, even though LucifroN is going straight for his side of the map, B already found both of his deer spots, and I think he pretty much already cleaned them up. Yeah. He did.
Clean those up, as well as cleaning up one of the wolves, so really just counteracting a lot of the bounty, and should be able to pick up some more, as well as a lot of the sheep out on the map due to what you were mentioning with the Tang Dynasty.
Yeah, and LucifroN, it looks like he didn't believe that B already has like vision over all the maps, so his scout, he went further into the direction of B's base with that forward scout, and like that, it looks like B could actually deny some of the bounty from LucifroN's deer here, as the scouts are both there right now.
Yeah, we're going to see a little bit of some micro war, some micro battle. Scouts deciding to start hitting each other. Second scout for LucifroN, though, circling back to help secure this. But on the other side of the map, B's not going to be able to come help out.
Yeah, but he's gonna have to be careful here. His scout is low HP. Now, LucifroN scout is lower HP, but if that second scout comes in, it could be really difficult for him, especially since there are just so many sheep following that scout. He did manage to deny another deer here, but now is at the point in time where he has to pull back. Actually, it's gonna scoot around and get another sheep here, so looking good for him, as actually some of the villagers from LucifroN are now eyeless. He doesn't have any more sheep under his TC.
And already we can see how the second scout is somewhat paying off, but B, he needs to be careful. B, no! Oh my gosh. That was, I was about to just cry for B. Oh my. Anyways, back. Second, we're cooled down again. Second scout already paying off though, because it has forced LucifroN into more of this micro war and securing up more sheep, and LucifroN already having some of that idle time.
Yeah, and B, he's got a lot of the sheep now from LucifroN's side as well. And I wonder just how much bounty he's gotten so far. I don't think he's gotten too much. I'm guessing that LucifroN right now is sitting at 210 bounty max. I think probably more like 190. Can we check? Can we check how much bounty LucifroN has? But before that,
185.
Actually,
oh, 210. All right, there we go.
Okay.
So we're in it. Nice and low bounty though, not at the 250 mark, which is really where you do want to find yourself at. Kremlin is on its way, but I mean, Imperial Academy is already getting built quite quickly, and soon we're going to be seeing Song Dynasty being dropped.
Yeah, Imperial Academy is on its way now, and I mean, B, he's looking really, really solid now. Now, the good thing for B is he also did run out of sheep, but he's got his mill next to his berries, so he can just go onto them. Isn't a big delay here for him, and now the sheep are going to be coming in, and it's a good amount of them.
That is just such a happy sight to see when you're one of these Chinese villagers. You're like, oh, and look, even another one by the base of him. He's like, all right, I'll just throw another one on there. Immediately re-macros those berry villagers onto the sheep to get the better gathering rate.
And look at the micro. He also killed individual sheeps with every single villager, meaning that these villagers, there's less idle time between them now. Whenever a sheep finishes, they're not just all going to go into that sheep killing animation. Instead, they already have sheep that are on the floor for them to pick off. And now we see LucifroN being aggressive here, immediately dropping a stable with 5 villagers.
Yeah, 5 villagers building a stables is quite aggressive. It almost reminds me of Mali when they want that warrior scout upgrade super quick. They fast build that stables, but instead LucifroN does it to get that first night out and about. Oh, horseman out and about.
Yeah, he didn't have the gold, he didn't have the food right now, as there's very little food under his TC currently, so it's only going to be a horseman. This is very suboptimal for him. If he only had a little bit more bounty, this could have been a knight, and now he's gonna be in a little bit of a rough position. He doesn't have a lot of sheep right now. He's going for a second TC just to secure some of the food that is available for him. Oh, now we see the Barbican here going up. Wait. That's a lot of villagers for it. And it's a late Barbican as well.
B spotted that horseman passing by with the scout, and I guess maybe that was his reaction, was I need to get this Barbican down fast, although it's only one horseman, so wouldn't have to be too worried about it. That being said, he has gone ahead, secured up that positioning before it even arrives, and that will be his deer, so the next little bit of food secured for himself.
Yeah, but not only the food, also stone mine, also the gold. Like, the Barbican actually secures a lot. If it was knights, they could probably just teeter around there. But with horsemen, they can't really do that. They don't have as much HP, they don't do as much damage as quickly to the villagers. So this also enables B to go for a relatively fast second TC play here.
Yeah, and I mean, this is one of those that, as far as the start goes, very good for 3DB so far. We see he was trying to even circle the horseman and scout, not allow it to escape, and allow the TC to get some extra fires off on it too.
Yeah, and B actually now going for that for that barracks, maybe respecting a little bit too much the masses that he believes LucifroN has here, because the early game for LucifroN definitely didn't go as well as planned for him. Now LucifroN is going to have the resource that he needs for a second TC, is going to be dropping that next to the deer that are in front of his base, so is going to be able to secure his food income that way. And right now, still not seeing any villagers for B on stone, so he's not going to be looking for... Oh, that's an interesting scout.
I don't know what happened since the last time we saw him, but he is he's hanging out. The other scout looks fine. All right, so we got one.
Yeah, he's looking a little bit green today.
Say a little under the weather. He's not feeling too well. But the secondary TC for LucifroN going to go up. He has the gold now to start producing knights if he wants, or just go up for a castle age timing.
Yeah, and now second TC is going to be coming up here for LucifroN. Now B, he's still a little bit ahead when it comes to the villagers, just because of the Song Dynasty. And so far, I guess now we're seeing the first villagers go out to the stone mine south of his TC. So he's going to be going for his second TC a little bit delayed. I think he definitely could have just rushed it up, as there's only a single horseman, and he definitely did have that... yeah, he definitely didn't have... had the vision. He definitely had the vision. He knew that there was only a single horseman, not too much else going on there.
Yeah, maybe it was just worried about the vision that he didn't have. Didn't know what else was going out on the map. Maybe there was another knight that he never spotted that could be circling, and was a little bit worried on it. But he played the safer way, and now still going to be getting his secondary TC. He's still ahead in villager count due to Song Dynasty, and most likely still will continue to be for the foreseeable future, as his secondary TC is not too far away himself.
Yeah, now does go for the boar here. That's a beautiful hunting cabin here, even taking some of the wood from the stealth forest there. And yeah, so far looking good here. Gets a really beautiful spot, and the wooden fortress that he could potentially drop there would also secure a gold spawn access for him. And yeah, overall really good spot there for that hunting cabin. And overall, looking at it right now, I mean, LucifroN is now focusing on some unit mass as well. He's adding in some knights, he's adding some archers. B finally got that second TC out, and overall, B is looking to be in a good position right now.
Yeah, as this game continues to extend, Chinese is kind of finding themselves in the place they want them to be, but that can change quite quickly as LucifroN is starting to mass quickly. And if we know anything about the Spanish bros, they love their timing pushes, and LucifroN, he's starting to mass up quickly.
Yeah, this is definitely the play to go for. Go for that aggression. I mean, in the end, China, they don't have something like knights and feudation. They do have the Shigunu, which in great mass can do a lot of damage. The mass isn't there right now yet for B, and looking at B, I'm not sure how many production buildings he has. He doesn't have any Zhuge out on the field or anything like that. Finally managed to pick up another scout, so is going to be able to deny at least a little bit of the vision here that LucifroN has out on the map. And I'm not sure if he's going to be looking up for a Castle Age kind of approach here, but he's definitely macroing towards it, which is definitely one way that he can play this matchup with just a fast Castle Age now behind this. You wall up a little bit more, and if you get Castle Age, you can mass up your own knights. And Castle Age Knights against Archers and Feudal Age Knights, if you can get enough of them out on the map and you can hold, are going to be able to catapult you ahead.
Yeah, and the thing that I notice about Castle Age Knights versus Feudal Age Archers and Knights is you can always send one to your opponent's eco, vital resources that don't have a wooden fortress on it, and it will absolutely devastate them. But additional walls being dropped, just how you said that he needed on in, and LucifroN is ready for this all in here, and 3DB looks like he did not have the macro to go up to Castle yet, and so is forced onto a little bit of military at least.
Yeah, he did produce a couple of Zhuge here. He's still trying desperately to have wood access here. Could have probably even dropped an outpost there in that wood line just to secure it for a little bit longer, but LucifroN is now trying to keep the gas pedal pushed and just mess up more and more units, and he's definitely going to go for a really big push here soon. And B, he just doesn't have the army mass right now, is looking to push out more spearmen, more Zhuge numbers, but the mass just isn't there right now. LucifroN once again pushing in.
Knights just playing this back and forth game. Spears can't really step up or else they get sniped down by the Archers, and Archers able to take down a few more spears during that fight. No eco going down as of yet, but that's going to change quickly as well.
Yeah, definitely an outpost here probably needed by B in that wood line. He does have a little bit of stone. If he just gathers a little bit more, that means that, yeah, he... Oh, no, it's a box.
Another box coming in, but that outpost, like you said, that he needed is going down. Archer starting to fire, Knights starting to dive on in, and is this going to just be B's devastation as LucifroN is ready for this all in and has his mass firing? The outpost finishes, and Vils jump on inside to push LucifroN back, at least for the time being.
Man, defensive box with 5 out of 5 villagers inside, and the scout, the box scout, we see him again, just looking around. I mean, you know, sometimes if anything fails, you just want to hurl up and like crawl up inside one of these boxes, and that's exactly what that outpost is for. Actually, a second outpost probably somewhere, and double hand cannon placements coming in right now for B, so he's going to be playing this a little bit more defensively. It's going to try and mess up more units. 18 gremlins on the field about to be sent forward.
I'm surprised he didn't call those in a little bit earlier, but maybe he forgot he was playing the Rus, or just thought that after that first push, this timing is going to be enough to just end the Chinese.
This is hitting B at an uncomfortable timing right now. He just finished up his first tier spot, is moving out to the second one, but this is going to give him a little bit of a window there where B doesn't have enough food in order to constantly produce units or villagers, and outposts are finishing. Oh, he's back. He got reinforced, and now the outpost got unboxed, so to say. It's a beautiful box, beautiful unboxed outpost again.
And the Chuk mass has climbed up quite quickly, pushes back the initial first Kremlin and militia that arrived, and it looks like LucifroN might have just called all those for no reason, as they're just hanging out.
Yeah, they're going to be expiring soon, so now is the time probably to just send them in. And I mean, the Archer mass right now is still ahead for LucifroN here, and this becomes dangerous for B. As long as the Archer mass is ahead, the Rus player is going to be fine here, but double outposts with emplacements, looking good, looking good.
Yeah, Kremlin trying to be that front line, but they just got wiped so quickly as the Chuks, anything they fire on will get obliterated. Spears just trying to stay alive to keep the Chuk away from the Knights, but the Knights have closed in the gap a little bit. Outpost slaying so much here in LucifroN. Is he just overstepping a little bit here, as he's not really accomplishing too much, it seems like, at least as of yet?
Spearman numbers are falling. The green box has returned. The scout is back now in the base for B. And it looks like he's ushering in the time of the Chinese, because this push from LucifroN is about to stall out. The hand cannon emplacement is just doing so much here for him. Knights going down, Archers being repelled, and 3DB has held on for this push.
He has held indeed, and the villager count is in his favor just a little bit here, even though he has lost a few during all this, and LucifroN finally realizes he needs some rams to take down these outposts, because that's the key of B's defense. But the timing, you might just be too late now, as the Chook mass is up at 30 and still climbing.
Yeah, now it also becomes a little bit rough here now for LucifroN, because these natural resources out on the map, eventually they're going to expire, and he does have a lot of knights in queue. He's still producing more and more knights right now. He still has a good archer mass right now, but as he said, the Jugenu mass is climbing and climbing fast. There are 7 Jugenu in queue right now. He already has 35 out on the field, and most importantly, B is still creating spearmen. The key right now is to still be creating spearmen, and even more archery range is getting dropped. There's just going to be a ton of Jugenu out there. Now Rams are moving in.
Rams about to get taken down by the Chooks, as again, they take down everything in their path. Vill's being pulled as well. 3DB thinks he has enough to hold it, and I think he does too. Vill's pulled from everywhere as he just wants this outpost to stay alive and up. Chooks firing down, and the Knights have to be pulled on back, and so do the archers along with it.
Even after that pull, still having the villager lead, 3DB is looking to be in an absolutely commanding position right now. Is this the matchup counter? Is China just straight up superior, even towards the Rus?
Yeah, and it looks like he's starting to push out some of those locations LucifroN moved out to onto the map, now going to be very, very vulnerable, and that's going to be his main food eco, which means how's he going to produce military?
Oh, the box is moving forward as well with it, and now this is a really, really scary army that we're seeing here. Almost 60 Jugenu out on the field, and with 60 Jugenu, you're getting to the territory where you're already two-shotting the Knights with the volleys, but if you get to like 100 Jugenu, you're gonna be one-shotting them. I think even with 80 Jugenu, you can one-shot them. 60? 65 should be.
Well, he's almost at that 65 number, as he is above that 50 count. But the problem with this is you do need a few spears just to kill the Knights faster, because that means the archers on the other side focusing down your Chooks, and your Chooks get one shot by that archer mass.
Yeah, does have to be careful here, but the mass is still climbing and climbing. He is kiting back, further back and further back. So it's looking good for him. Knights all down, and now is the time for B to push in.
Yep, finds himself up 13 villagers, showing us the power of 2 TC Song versus the power of 2 TCs, and that is going to just continue to be the difference here now that 3DB is pushing on out. Couple of spears not showing too much worth, and Chooks still kiting back and able to just kill everything. Archers need to run on away as well.
Another knight remaining, or rather the last knight remaining. More knights being produced right now for LucifroN, but this is very costly for him. The upkeep is just insanely expensive for him. He is still microing effectively here, but the Ju count, it's just overwhelming.
I mean, every single time he kills off the Knights, it's like 4 or 5 archers that follow with it, and once the Chooks are able to start firing down on the archers, and that's why it's so key for LucifroN to just have some sort of a front line for this. But there's also raids going down on the east. All of those vills that went out on the berries for the Roost that we were mentioning, they're getting idled out just by a few Chooks. Vills are running on away, and that's where B has found his first vill pickup of the game.
Yeah, and behind all of this, I mean, he's still continuing to produce, and now he's also doing a granary transition behind this because he's running out of food. The natural resources are nearly completely exhausted now. There's probably not a lot of deer remaining. I think he still had a couple of sheep, but he's doing a transition behind all of this, and you can really only do that with Jugenus, like the transition behind them, because Jugenus, they only cost 20 food each, an insanely cheap unit to mass, and that is why it's so easy to mass them, and in mass, they become incredibly dangerous, and here we can see it, the Jugenu just, they're still holding their own, even against the mass, with the Knights that is supposed to counter them.
Yeah, exactly. And LucifroN just done such a good job here of just continuing to mass, continuing to try to push back, continuing to try to take the fights when he can. But B is just proving the Chinese strength in feudal age, not the late game strength. This is their feudal age OP-ness. There's a little bit of OP-ness all over the place.
Oh, penis indeed. And yeah, I mean, now the age-up is coming in for B as well. Astronomical Clock Tower, meanwhile, LucifroN, he's far, far, far away from the next age, and he's going to have to be looking at a at a farm transition of his own soon, because he doesn't have map control anymore. He placed so many hunting cabins around the map on these berry bushes that he now had to abandon. Actually, I say that, but he's really close to castle age of his own now.
Yeah, it's amazing how similar these timings are. It's so hard to like get this knowledge of knowing when to make this transition into castle, and that's exactly what LucifroN did. Chuk upgrade is on its way. 3DB desperately needs this before the fight comes on in, or desperately wants this, I guess I should say. And a couple more seconds in, and there it is. Watch these knights just absolutely start disappearing now. Same thing.
Yeah, I mean, the Knight upgrade is also really quickly, finishes really quickly. He doesn't have it yet, as the H-up is just about to complete, but yeah, I mean, it's similar, The damage isn't insane yet. I think it's only +1 damage with the Jugunu upgrade, and now they're pushing in.
Ooh, Monastery is the choice coming out from or Abbey of the Trinity, not Monastery, well, same thing, but coming out from LucifroN, and will try to start securing up some of these relics, but 3DB looks to be the one who's taking more of this map control and taking more of LucifroN's base.
Yeah, he's pushing under at TC, killing a lot of villagers here, and now, at this point in time, 3DB killed more villagers, even though LucifroN, for the most part of the game, has been on his side of the map. More units are coming out from 3DB, and now he's been able to take the map control. He's also able to get these outward resources. There's a lot of villagers, actually, from LucifroN on the right side of the map in 3DB space. Is he going for his stone mine?
Yeah, he is. Those were some of those vills that were on the berries earlier. Couldn't really find a spot to get away. I guess they circled around, and they are starting to sneak the stone, which might just be a sneaky keep drop on these granaries, too.
Yeah, that could be a way for LucifroN back into this game. He's also getting the upgrades right now for his knights, getting the Boyar's Fortitude, and right now there's only Jugunu forward here. Not enough against this mass. There's a lot of archers here. Veterancy on those archers as well. We see another box outpost, and yeah, the knights, they're just pushing forward right now.
Yeah, there is a nest of bees out somewhere, but it is not here, and that's all that matters is this fight here. And LucifroN, again with this timing, massive knights coming in, and there is the nest of bees fire helping out with the knights, but more importantly, it will help force away those archers on the other side.
Yeah, archers did a good job there overall. I mean, the fight went well for LucifroN. He killed a couple more villagers there. I think 5 or 6 villagers went down there for B, maybe even a little bit more, and yeah, now it's looking not too bad for him. LucifroN, he's getting close to that stone that he needs for a keep, as he said earlier, and he's right next to the granaries, and he knows that they're there.
Yeah, this is just this crazy back and forth this whole game. It has felt like this has just been teetering just barely back and forth to either of these players. 3DB, though, kind of been the favorite as far as positioning goes, but LucifroN is doing some of the necessary steps to push on back.
Now he has a stone. Is he going to be dropping that keep?
Oh, I mean, if he gets this keep up on the granaries, that is his way back in it. It looks like 3DB is starting to build out further and further towards the stone. He might spot out those vills now soon. So the time is now.
Yeah, this also blocks a little bit. There it is!
Immediately starting to fast build it. B, no reaction yet. He definitely sees it. Main fight's going on in the middle. So perfect timing for this fight. B fully distracted with his APM here in the middle. And LucifroN, this is a fight that might not actually be the worst for him, especially if that keep goes up. A couple vills on that gold mine going down, and it looks like armies trading back and forth. LucifroN does have to back away, and right as he does, B realizes that his whole granary eco has to fall away as well.
Yeah, this is really rough now. Losing all your food economy there in the blink of an eye, now has to invest into siege.
Yeah, I mean, that's all you can really produce now is more siege. You have to produce more granaries, I guess, but that means you have to delete your first ones because you only have 3 as your limit there, and you don't want to do that.
Looks like he's instead investing into Trebuchet right now. He just wants to get rid of that cape in order to get back on those granaries. It's such a big investment. He's invested so much wood into that. I don't think he wants to give it up anytime soon. And B, he's pushing it further and further. Now that keep might be actually a little bit missing here for LucifroN.
Yeah, and it takes so much time for that Treb to get grinded down, especially if those vills just stay right next to it, gathering stone, jumping in and out and repairing it. He's going to not only need one Treb, he's going to need multiple.
It looks like B says, what you can do, I can do too, and he's dropping his own keep. He's getting his relics. He might be denying the relics now then.
Yeah, and he says, all right, bye-bye to your few farms over there. But more importantly, that's 4 relics that B will deny from LucifroN, secure for himself. And LucifroN has no answer for this. The 2 nested bees, 3 nested bees, there's just nothing that LucifroN can do with only 7 knights really being the counter, I put air quotes even though you couldn't see it, unit for those siege units.
Now B is going for the forward farms here. He needs some food access, so this really makes sense for him. Mind you, this isn't like an H1 Quest 2 where you can start converting your opponent's farms. No, he has to make his own farms forward position here. Well, not real farms, it's more like rice fields for the Chinese, and now it looks like LucifroN is splitting off again. Oh, find some villagers here on the ferries.
He knows how hurt B is on this food, so if he can continue to deny food, that's going to be his point back in this game. But LucifroN, he's still lacking in the military numbers now and getting his base torn apart by 3DB.
He has actually been popcapped for a while. He's had this trebuchet ready to be built for quite a while. It only just now got finished as he lost some units there. And yeah, I mean, he's still strip mining the map quite aggressively right now. His gold income is actually through the roof, but he still only has very little gold. I wonder what he's all spending it on.
Yeah, it does look like LucifroN might be circling around for another keep with those vills as they mined out that stone, but he has more important things to worry about as his whole base is getting demolished.
Another keep here forward from B. It's going to secure that wood line. Archers are going to be finding some villager kills here right now, but B, he's still got a good villager lead right now. He's probably not too concerned about this currently. And yeah, I don't think this push out here from LucifroN is going to achieve a lot. A lot of the knights went down. There's 3 knights remaining. He's now diving in further, but there aren't any villagers left here.
Yeah, B's whole economy is on LucifroN's side of the map that you talked about earlier. Another keep drops defensively. Militia have been called, but there are only a few here left. And there's all the landmarks inside over there as well.
Yeah, this becomes really, really dangerous. If there is a forward position here right now, if B goes for a lot of siege, he could be in a position with another forward keep to take down all of the landmarks here from LucifroN.
But so many yellow units in the game, and as I was mentioning, it wasn't keep, it's wooden fortresses being dropped all around 3DB's base, around those granaries, the next wood line. He's just taking the full map control, and he's actually, LucifroN's the one who's going for the landmarks.
That's so weird to see villagers at this point in the game just hitting that clock tower. And yeah, I mean, LucifroN, he has his army all over the place. I feel like B, he has so much wood right now in the bank. If only he just supervises, for example, 1 to 2 siege workshops, he can just make 5 rams and finally push back. And villagers still looking for stuff to do here, looking for another wooden fortress. I mean, B, he's trying to find his food economy again, and he's doing a great job with that. But yeah, he's secured this one with the keep.
Yeah, and the more that these keeps get built and get up, the less that LucifroN can end up doing with the masses that he has out. He's been scrambling here for a little while, I feel like, and it's kind of been working, but B, he's been scrambling as well, and this positioning point on the front side is looking pretty good for himself.
Oh, this is a clock tower ram. It has so much HP. These villagers actually take quite a while to finish it off. Oh, archers running around, killing more villagers here. Overall, LucifroN, he's killed a lot of villagers this game. Oh my god, the forward keep.
Oh no. Yeah, that might just be it. That's the last gold vein that LucifroN can access. B has the other ones keeped up as well.
Yeah, I mean, keep control all over the place here for B, and if only he's able to clean up the keep on his granaries, he's gonna be in a good position. Looks like the first landmark has gone down now with the Abbey of Trinity being taken down by B, and there's only 2 landmarks remaining now.
And B just securing that gold location. Knights trying to dive in, but dove into a spear and keep mass, and LucifroN is starting to fall as far as his eco population goes. It's not looking too good for himself now, as B, he's starting to take over this scrambling game we've seen.
This is such a messy game right now. Both players being in the base of their opponent, and now it looks like LucifroN, he's got a couple of trebuchets out, is gonna be able to slowly but surely push back that keep. But B, he can still repair that for quite a while.
finally getting some of these wooden fortresses cleaned on up. Springle's moving forward to try to take down a nest of bees, but again, Chinese keeps showing their strength, and now there's a palace guard mass to just dive on those trebs, and I don't think I saw much military there to protect it.
Yeah, and right now archers massing up against the Zhigunu here. Zhigunu and crossbows, mind you, so does have something against any kind of unit here. Kills a lot of the villagers.
Oh yeah, another wood line just being vulnerable. More and more wood just starting to run out on this map as B, that keep control, still proving to work wonders, and more vills being taken down. Palace guards did push up in the backside, and LucifroN is under triple digit eco population for the first time in quite a while.
Yeah, this looks really dicey. I can't see LucifroN really coming back now from this position. He's making more knights, he's making more archers. He's really spread out thinly right now. Archers fighting against the Shigunu, against the crossbows here. But the mass, he had to split them up, and now it's not enough here on this side in order to deal with all of these units. Magnet coming out.
Mangonel getting a decent shot, but you know what's getting better shots? All of 3DB's units on those villagers on the wood line, as we just see so many yellow bodies on that other side.
Oh my god, he's losing so many villagers, he's still not pulling them back, and at the same time, it looks like LucifroN is pushing onto the keep here from B, finally getting that keep down, and also taking a lot of villagers with him, and right now, B's military mass just isn't there where it needs to be, only at 328, still falling. Oh, the keep, it lives, and LucifroN calls it! The repair is too strong!
Yes, his military mass might not have been there for B, but he just caused way too much eco damage for it to matter. And LucifroN not able to take game number 1, but what a wild one to start this one out.
Yeah, exactly, and we can see that 3DB, the villager count, looking heavily in his favor, as it usually does with the Chinese. And we can see all the raids that he did there in the end. LucifroN just losing so many villagers, and B being able to stay consistent with his villager count. I mean, LucifroN, he was in the base of B for such a long time, but B, he was in the base of LucifroN at the same time, and yeah, he managed to pull through there and get his economy running on so many different sides that it was just hard for LucifroN to raid all of them.
Yeah, that game was an absolutely wild one to watch. I'm definitely glad I wasn't playing, as I would have been losing my mind as stuff was going on all over the place. They were basically making base trades, keep drops all over, knights going everywhere, and just unbelievable job by both these players. But 3DB proves to be the victor on that one. But that's one of the potential few here, as Woodwall is up next, and we got ABBA versus Mongols.
Yeah, and this is a popular matchup that we've seen a couple of times before on Woodwall. So Mongols with the trade against the Abbasid with their multiple TC kind of approach here. Gonna be interesting to see how B will approach this. And LucifroN, I mean, trade, usually we don't see a lot of trade from the Spanish Bros, but on a map like Woodwall with the Mongols, it's definitely gonna be necessary.
Yeah, and honestly, it's one that I could even see if this extends a little bit. We might even see ABBA start to do some trading themselves. They do have the ability to make those walls. They can secure up the protection there to have the trade going for the long haul, and they have some trade bonuses themselves that the Mongols wouldn't be able to get.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, Abbasid, they also, with the trade wing, they get some of the tankiest traders in the game. Once they reach Castle Age with that trade wing, they're able to unlock a technology which gives their traders +5 melee and pierce armor. Suddenly, these traders become absolute tanks, and it's going to be really hard to raid the trade line. And I mean, once you see a trader that has like +7 melee armor, +7 ranged armor, a spearman with like +9 damage isn't like 9 damage in total isn't going to do a whole lot of damage to that one.
Yeah, and this is one of these situations where I feel like I always like hype this up, because in this map, it's one where you might see it, but it might be one where 3DB just does that classic ABBA play of the TC booming like you see. But I wouldn't be one to complain to just see some trade wackiness, except I do not want to see some 3.5 hour trade wackiness like 3DB had the other day.
Yeah, let's hope that this isn't going to be a 3.5 hour long game. We'll see.
Yeah, absolutely. I do remember the old days of 3DB doing the Mongol TC rush on a wood wall with the chop through, but not going to be on that one. It is going on in, and let's check spawns for game number 2.
Here we go, 3DB as the Abbasid Dynasty against LucifroN with the Mongols on Woodwall, one of the custom maps that we have for these tournaments. Now, Woodwall is a very, very special map. We can see that we got this really large wall made out of, you guessed it, wood, in the middle, surrounded by some pretty big cliffs here. And the players are spawning on opposite sides here. Now, next to these cliffs, we do have some neutral trading posts, we do have some sacred sites, and also a couple of berry bushes, which is always really, really nice for the Abbasid or the Delhi here. That's a good bunch of berry bushes here next to it. That's a really good spot for a second TC if the Abbasid wants to go for one.
I mean, if you're able to drop a TC on that triple berry bush pack, you're going to have food for the long haul in this game. For, I mean, Imperial Age, post-Imperial Age, whatever you want to call it. But we'll see if we do end up seeing those Eco Wing TC booming. I think it would be a shame not to, seeing that berry spawn.
Yeah, for sure. But I mean, it's still going to be possible here that we're going to be seeing a trade wing. What we've seen so far on this map was usually like a military wing. I've seen most of the time here for the Abbasid. And LucifroN, he's going to be starting this off with a stable. So he's going to be playing this aggressively, starting off with some early horsemen.
Yeah, not always what you would expect to see against the Abbasid, who are known for their, I guess, spears once you get some further upgrades in it. But it's not like this is one like the English where they're immediately going to have longbows or things like that. That being said, this does allow LucifroN to take a lot of the map control and really be the aggressor and be the one moving forward.
Yeah, now if B chooses to go for the military wing, he's going to have the perfect response to these early horsemen coming out. And on the opposite side, though, if he goes for the trade wing, he's going to have to keep his traders really, really close to his base, because if they move out and the horsemen catch them, it's going to be tough for him. And he does go with the military wing.
Ooh, the military wing. All right. So very, very, I mean, you could say conservative approach if he wants to do the military wing into TCs, or knowing 3DB, he could have something else in store for us, maybe a little bit of extra aggression all in him.
Yeah, it could potentially be, but it could potentially be for B, but yeah, I mean, I like this play with the military wing. We've seen it a couple of times now. I think Puppy Paw played it once with the military wing against Trade, and it worked out really well for him. I think overall military wing on this in this matchup is probably one of the best things that you can go for, because you get the boot camp, and with boot camp and then later on the composite bows, you're going to have the best way to fight against these Mongols when a matchup where both players are incentivized to go for like mass archers.
Yeah, I guess so. And ABBA, they're known for their mass trash units, and that is one that they're happy to do, is massing up some of those archers. Horsemen, though, diving in on the gold, cancels in the lumber camp before LucifroN able to get any attacks there, which is crucial, and forces even more villagers back off the berries, at least for a second or two.
Yeah, causes some idle time here and there. Definitely going to be annoying for B to deal with. And yeah, just some idle time here and there. But soon the HF is going to be coming in. Then with the military wing, B is going to be getting 2 free spearmen, with which he should be able to repel this.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy actually seeing how much damage just 2 horsemen can end up doing, forcing every single villager back under the TC, essentially. You know, B is over on the other side, chopping in some stragglers. He's dropped the barracks, and there is the military wing finish.
Yeah, he doesn't have the population space that he needs right now for these 3 units to spawn. So as soon as he gets his house up, those units are going to be popping out, and there we go. House is finished, units pop out, and does immediately scare the Khan away.
Yeah, scares the Khan away, scares those few horsemen away. Villagers go back onto the gold, so needs to get some of these upgrades, such as, you know, potential spearmen upgraded, as these are Dark Age.
Yeah, Dark Age Spearman for now. Now, at the same time, LucifroN, he's aging up with the Silver Tree, so he's going to be looking to start his trade at any one point in time. 3B, he's already grabbing the Fresh Foodstuffs upgrade, and he is now macroing towards that second TC.
Yeah, so it is that military wing to secure up his secondary TC, to secure up that eco, and it proves that he needed it, as those couple horsemen will be deterred from it, and Khan even still causing some annoyance, although B, he got exactly the gold that he needed for what he wanted.
Yeah, he wanted to get the gold for that hardened upgrade on his spearmen, is now going to be able to get it. So these spearmen are finally going to be reaching feudal age as well. LucifroN, he's up in the feudal age. I'm not sure, did he already grab the early horseman upgrade again to make them into normal horsemen, or are they still Dark Age Mongol horsemen for now?
I have not noticed, but those couple archers, couple spears are still at least doing what they can to push back those few horsemen. And secondary TC, not too far away from being dropped for 3DB.
Yeah, it looks like those still were the early horsemen. Now, LucifroN, he is making these trays right now. He didn't supervise build them, so these were just normally built without any stone invested into them. LucifroN right now with a 2-villager lead, mainly due to the traders being out on the map right now.
Yeah, those traders will start paying off, especially that you see the corner investment already coming in from LucifroN as well. I think he's putting down some outposts and moving the silver tree towards the market, and then going to be able to have that long trade route.
It's going to be really efficient for him. And with those outposts, as you mentioned, I mean, you don't get the Yam Aura network with the silver tree. What you do get, though, is the Mongols, they don't need the Yam Aura to buff their cavalry. So the traders, they do... It's a hot topic. So the traders, they do count as cavalry when it comes to the Yam Aura network, but they don't count as cavalry when it comes to the spearmen hitting them. So the traders are actually going to get buffed by the Yam Aura network before getting that buff out. So that's a lot of villagers. That's going to be that second TC that we spoke of earlier.
What if he just drops the second TC on the berries next to the market, so it denies the trading as well?
I would love to see that if he does that.
He's close.
That is very close. I mean, he could possibly hit the traders when they go in for the gold collection from the market.
And at the very least, he's going to have a huge positioning point to just deny this trade easily, as villagers, if they're right there next to the TC, they can easily just build a wall or build an outpost or whatever they desire. And we just saw that vision. You couldn't really even see where it was being built if you were LucifroN.
Exactly, but now LucifroN knows Khan is scouting that one. Actually, never mind, it was just a couple of horsemen. Khan did go down earlier from the looks of it, and now traders are going to be making their way, but this could actually potentially be in range. And now it looks like LucifroN is actually going to be moving his silver tree a little bit further away.
Yeah, he's going to have to move it to the other market if he wants to have some successful trade trips here in just a little bit, as B is securing that location, and he has finished that TC, and it does look like he is making the transition immediately to the other side market.
Yeah, exactly. But at the same time, B already has some units there on the opposite side of the map, and looks like he's prepared for this. I'm not sure what it is. It's probably some spearmen out there on the other side of the map. Exactly, 4 spearmen, and he does get his first trader kill here off the game now. Also researching boot camp, so he is looking to further mass his military now.
Yeah, really good job by 3DB just splitting up his military. He knew exactly what this was going to be, denying a Vil moving out to get this outpost, and LucifroN, he's kind of scrambling right now as the Mongol player not able to get the trade up, which is like that key economic bonus that he's been investing so much into.
Yeah, now he's moving his market next to the neutral market, and the issue is that this is not going to be his landmark market, so he's not going to be making the traders from it for less gold, and also not faster than from a normal market. So this is very suboptimal for him now when it comes to trading, and second TC already paying itself off, as now 3DB is leading in the eco count.
Yeah, LucifroN's military is definitely in favor. It's all together though, and the problem for him is he doesn't need his military altogether. He has to protect so many different points in the map, and usually you drop walls to help you do that, but the Mongol player can't.
One thing I'm worried about right now for 3DB is he's not messing a lot of archers, and horsemen are nice, but in a composition where LucifroN already has all 3 production buildings right now, you do need archers, and now we finally see 3DB massing more and more archers, because this is really all that it's about in the feudal age. You really need that big archer mass. You gotta micro it properly, and that's ultimately how you're gonna be able to win these engagements.
Yeah, and the scared part I have for 3DB is if his wood lines get denied. LucifroN has a big mass that isn't something to be messed with and could just easily go focus a couple of these wood lines from 3DB, which are far out from the TC and not protected.
That's the benefit that the Mongols have, right? With their TC, they're able to protect their wood lines, and now we do see that raid coming in on the wood line here by LucifroN, and B is gonna have to pull some workers away again.
Yeah, and that means no archers going to be able to be made. That means, you know, lacking in on the wood that's needed for horsemen, archers, all his production. And LucifroN now going to start burning down some buildings to get some of that raid bonus in for himself as well.
Yeah, burning does take a little bit of time against the Abbasids, since they do have that bonus from the House of Wisdom where their buildings have a little bit more torch armor. But is going to get the resource, and that's always handy for the Mongols. And he does have a really large mass of spearmen out right now. And overall, army mass, 19 army to 34 for LucifroN.
Yeah, and B's trying to like cause annoyance with a few of these horsemen, which is good if you can pull a lot of LucifroN's mass away. The problem becomes is once that mass regroups with the rest of his. As you see now, you know, 5-1, yeah, you're pulling this away. You're going to lose your horsemen, but causing some delay, at least for right now.
Oh, LucifroN has a couple of idle villagers there. Now moving on to berries, but now there's going to be another clash here from the looks of it. He does have an outpost on his wood line, so it's going to be a little bit more protected this time around.
Yeah, he had to have that, as I was mentioning earlier. That was going to be his detrimental point, and no, that such a feels bad as the Mongol. Ooh.
Yeah, the villagers that just finished the gear aren't going to the deer. Instead, they're chopping the wood next to it.
Yeah, the wood has a bigger priority, I believe, than the deer, as the deer are not killed.
Yeah.
So
that's. Oh, he noticed. Okay.
Okay. Was it too long? Was it too long? That's one of those that I'd be like on like the stragglers in the middle at the point, and I'd be like, oh no. Oh, so good oversight there by LucifroN, fixing up the villagers that were on the wrong resource, and still continuing to push forward with this mass. But 3DB looking a little bit more secured, at least for right now.
Yeah, he's gonna be careful though. He still doesn't have nearly enough archers here. He's gonna be able to push LucifroN back a little bit, but only after LucifroN gets the bounty from that lumber camp. Does lose his scout there, and now is gonna be pushing onto those villagers that are on the deer. Not a lot of space for all of these villagers, and could potentially kill a couple here now.
Yeah, definitely should pick up at least a few. You just saw some wonderful micro, had some Vills jump out, Vills jump back in, but now the military proving to be too numerous, at least for the time being.
Yeah, B is going to be able to take a lot of villager kills here. Villagers just, all the weak ones getting shuffled in and out of these outposts. Really, really annoying here, but in the end, the villagers that aren't able to get inside are going to be taken down, and that's a couple of villager kills there for him.
And it forces LucifroN to pull his full entire military back from that aggressive point that he was loading up at, which now gives 3DB this breathing room. He has said, yes, it's 2TC versus Trade, but Trade took a while to get online, and it's not fully online, having only 4 traders.
Yeah, only 4 traders, and he's making the traders out of his non-landmark market, so this is actually looking really good right now for B. Now, from the landmark, it would only take 16 seconds per trader and 30 less gold, so only 90 resources per trader. From this other market, not only does it take 25 seconds per trader, but also costs the full cost of 120 resources to make them.
Yeah, and definitely don't pay off as well, especially if they don't reach their location as the first...
Oh, take it!
The first one gets taken out. All right.
That's a lot of value. Killing those traders before they drop off. And wait, LucifroN is making a ram, 2 rams. LucifroN is going ham now. He wants to take this position probably with the second TC. But B, he's making more production over here as well. And he's pushing out a lot of military units right now. He's getting closer and closer to the mass that LucifroN has. And his blacksmith upgrades are looking good as well.
Yeah, his mass is climbing fast, has a ton of production now. He's also going to have production right here and ready to defend up this location, so even more helpful than it already is. And there's plenty of villagers here to not only help burn down the Rams, but jump in the TC and heal up the TC. All of the necessary things that B needs to do.
Yeah, and he has a lot of horsemen here as well, and with the Archer as the Spearmen are going to be a little bit discounted here. Also has Spearman of his own. Archer is fighting against the Spearman as much as possible. Spearman Mash just not really being there for LucifroN right now, and this fight looks to be good for 3DB right now.
Yeah, good old attack speed errors in. The Rams are pushing up, but not looking to be good enough as the Horsemen, they close the gap, and there is a massive amount of spears trying to help in for LucifroN, but those spears needed to be there earlier on in the fight, and now might just have come a little too late as it's mainly archers versus the Horsemen mass of 3DB.
Yeah, and there's so many horsemen right now. It's just all due to the berries, and now the horsemen are on top of the archers. LucifroN just isn't able to keep up. Only a single spearman, and LucifroN calls it GG. B does it with a 2-0 sweep against LucifroN here.
What a great series played by 3DB. The absolutely wild back and forth first game, and then just the methodical second game, denying the trade. Great game plan there with the military wing.
This is so absolutely needed for B. Defeating a player like LucifroN, this means B is getting closer and closer to that spot into the top 8 and could actually net him that win that he needs in order to get into that.
Yeah, I think as of this game in this series, he was sitting just on the edge in 9th. So this just might vault him up into that positioning that he needs for the finals.
Exactly. So this was such an important game for him, and we can see in the military count, both players really even, but just B with that superior army, with the boot camp upgrade, with all of the horsemen that he had, and the spearmen, as he said, just being out of position there, costing LucifroN the game here.
Yeah, perfect timing for B, perfect fight for B, and what a great series with the 4 series that we've covered today. But good thing for everyone else, we have just a couple names that y'all might know for the last series here today.